And her favorite thing is the smell of clean laundry. Let's give it up for Steph Welsh!
Birds, ice cream cones, across the river, across the valley, clocks, audience, all around us, people, everywhere. Okay, enough about the inauguration poem. We're gonna get into this. Okay. Well, first off, I'm gonna talk about something that we can all relate to, and that's social groups. We're all part of different social groups. And I'm going to talk to you about the roles, because there's several different roles in each of our social groups. We're going to start, you know, like the comedian, someone who makes you laugh and everything like that. But then there's the specific roles that you can't help but think of certain people, like your social coordinator. You know the type of person I'm talking about. You really like having them around because, like, you wouldn't go anywhere without them, but if it was up to you, you wouldn't go anywhere with them. You know, they're the real awkward type that's like, okay, you need to meet behind Thompson at 5:45. Do not be late. We're going to be bowling at 6 o'clock. This is going to be a fun time, okay? And then there's the invited friend. You know who I'm talking about. It's like, here's Sarah. She's from Cedarville. She's a transfer. She's new. She was sitting in her dorm room by herself, so I decided to invite her. Guys, this is Sarah. Hey, Sarah. Yeah, no one talks to her for the rest of the night. And then there's the friend that never has any money, but comes anyway. You know the friend I'm talking about. You're going bowling, they're like, just $5, that's all I want, please. Just $5, please. You're like, all right, fine, here's your $5. And then they're like, all right, seriously, I'm just so thirsty. Can I just get a Coke? Maybe some nachos, just $3 more, please. I get paid next week, please. They never pay back. And finally, our favorite role, and that's the socially awkward friend. We know who that is. You know, it's the person that instead of you asking when they're free, you ask them when they're busy, and then you make plans. You're like, oh wait, you said you were working this Friday, right? Too bad. A whole bunch of us were going to go over so-and-so's apartment, but sorry you're working. Maybe next time. You know the friend I'm talking about. Now, I know you're saying aw, so get ready for another aw, because growing up, I wish I could be that socially awkward person. Because I didn't even have a social group. I didn't even have a group. I had a dog. And it didn't even belong to me. True story. Now I know what you're thinking. You're all thinking, was she homeschooled? And the answer is yes. Only for a year, but it scarred me for life. Now, there's two types of homeschoolers. There's the one type that's like David Tassel, you know, you're like, really? Is he homeschooled? You're all thinking that. You know, he's not that weird, maybe just like a little bit. You see him on the phone with his mom every now and then, and he buys his clothes from Walmart. You're like, okay, he's probably homeschooled. But then, there's the, you know, I love you, Tassel. And then there's the homeschooler that has it written on Sharpie all over their body, and you're like, oh my word, you are so homeschooled. And I'm going to have to say his name, he gave me permission, but that's like the Tim Pine homeschool. You know the kind I'm talking about, the one who leans over and you can see his name written on the tag of his pants. Sorry. So, yeah. That was me. So, like, yeah, I was homeschooled for a year, and after a couple months of that, I decided that maybe I would go outside and try interacting with the different people in the neighborhood. So, I tried. Yeah, I interacted with people in the neighborhood. If you call having crab apples being thrown at the back of your head, it kind of went outside interacting with kids and neighbors. So, yeah, I did. So, that was 6th grade. So, my parents had the brilliant idea that maybe homeschooling isn't cut out for Steph. Maybe we'll try something else. So, they put me into a new school where I knew no one. And it was good. I got to know some friends. I got my first boyfriend. Yeah. Only one problem. He was a foreign exchange kid. And I don't think he rejected me because I don't think he knew how to say no in English. So, yeah. So I went through junior high, which which was hard, you know, for everyone. But then I realized, you know what? Maybe I'll make this happen. So I woke up one morning in 7th grade, and I put my hair into my comb-over sort of look back then, which I thought was cool. I put on one of my 7 sweater vests, and I washed my face because I only had acne on my forehead, which was really weird. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be good. I'm going to make this happen. It didn't work so well. So anyway, I decided that I was going to resort back to my default social group. Now this is a social group we all have. Does anyone know what I'm talking about? Our family! Yeah, we can hang out with our family and it's cool, right? Yeah, well I thought so. And then I realized I'm the youngest. I have no way that I'm going to be able to fit in with my family. Yeah, it was rough. You know, how many of you are youngest kids? Okay, so then you're going to know what I'm talking about when I tell you your siblings critique every single thing you do. No matter what it was. This is what I heard. Steph, you're being too loud. Steph, you're being too quiet. Steph, sit up. Steph, you know that the youngest kids always sit in the back seat. Steph, take a shower. Steph, sit up your fly. Everything I did. It was rough. But after a while, you know, I got used to it. It was good. So then I had to say goodbye to my default social group and go to college. Yeah, that was like 9 years ago, but anyway. And you know, when you're a freshman, you'll be friends with anyone, no matter who talks to you, because you're so nervous. You're like, all right, I'll introduce myself to the guy who won the science fair 10 years in a row, and he has his trophies lined up on his bookshelf. Or yeah, I'll say hi to the girl that's still stuck in high school, and she gives me her yearbook to sign, and I don't even know who she is. Or I'll be friends with music majors, or maybe even people from Michigan. Love this stuff. Okay, and as Carl said, I am a 5th-year senior. Woo! And it's good. I'm single still. Is that a bad thing? Probably not. But the one thing that's really got me this year is that we have freshmen that are born in 1990. Seriously, what is up with that? When they're learning to tie their shoes, I'm going to senior prom. It's ridiculous. Well, I tried to relate to some. So I went up to some freshmen and I was like, yeah, let's talk about our childhood. Did you guys ever watch Power Rangers? And they look at me with a blank stare and they say, is that like Pokemon? But yeah, so I'm still trying to fit in. I'm still having fun. So thanks for listening, guys.